Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
Find myself scurrying a moment like this.
Oh, hello again. Couldn't have perfected the broom upgrades without your help. As always, I have a special prize for you. I truly enjoyed working with you. Thank you for believing in me. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Revelio.
In today's lesson, we will cover a truly thrilling event. The Goblin Rebellion of 1752 and all its triumphant tragedy. But more specifically, we will address the devastating effect it had on the wizard milling industry. Actually, we do know the number. 632. But history occurs outside the classroom. And look, it's time for my constitutional. One can practically osmose the history flowing through Hogwarts.
I think the professor wants us to follow him.
And now for a stroll to the bell tower entrance hall. Along with the rest of the castle that was completed in the late early Middle Ages. The hall and the bell towers that loom above it contain myriad interesting artifacts.
Revelio.
Good to see you again. Recovered from that nasty bout of dragon pox, have we?
That wasn't me, Professor. I'm new here.
Are you? Well then, welcome. No doubt you're eagerly anticipating my analysis of various wizarding councils, codes, statutes, and of course, goblin rebellions. Not all goblins are rebellious. Some venture into wizarding politics, such as Eargit the Ugly, Some are talented artisans, such as Bragbor the Boastful.
Did you say Bragbor? I know that name. Lodgok said he was an ancestor of Ranrock.
Well known for his metalwork. I would imagine much of his goblin-wrought iron and silver has survived to this very day. Where were we? Oh yes. Back to our class topic for today. Grimbold Weft. Another notable historical figure. He's right nearby. Curious students can find him on display here in the bell tower entrance.
Oh. Revelio.
Responsible for some of the most...
What are you up to?
This Grimbold Weft sounds like a helpful fellow, but a hero of the rebellion.
Oh yes, I see you found Grimbold Weft.
Yes, I rather enjoyed seeking him out.
The thrill of the scholarly pursuit. I know the feeling quite well. Now, let's turn our attention to the agreeability and general good nature of Sir Afpuddle. He's also nearby. See what you can learn from him for your next assignment. Standing in eternal but symbolic watch over the bell tower is a retinue of loyal knights, or rather, statues of knights, I should
Revelio.
clarify. Keen-eyed students will spot the statue of Sir Afpuddle of the cheerful countenance nestled among the ranks. His fame was
These
not
bits of
won
broom are
by
all that's
vanquishing
left of a witch called Sir Scagglethorpe the Heedless
by
once challenged a
slaying
mountain troll
bloodthirsty
to a game of
dragons,
musical chairs.
rather in training
Take
yards
it as one.
and sculleries.
This is a centuries-old likeness of Pangadon.
Demeanor,
Fearless mouse hunter and devoted study companion. People have always loved their pets.
courage,
I find that
and to
comforting.
make the waving statues of...
Revelio.
Hogwarts is impervious to the inexorable march of time. Perhaps that is why I admire it so. Our students often complain about the many staircases at Hogwarts.
Professor Binns, I found the statue of Sir Afpuddle.
Ah, well done. Alas, Sir Afpuddle's affability was his undoing. Died instantly trying to befriend a basilisk. Eye contact is not always to be encouraged. So beloved was he that even some goblins mourned his passing. Of course, that did not bode well with the rest of the goblins, most of whom could not abide mourning the loss of a wizard.
Pity goblins and wizards can't get along.
True, but imagine how dull my lectures would be without goblin rebellions to discuss. History does tend to repeat. It is a series of patterns, a thought both comforting and disconcerting. The wise student, such as yourself, will learn from it. History is written by those who do their schoolwork, so they say.
Revelio.
Or at least, I like to say that.
Looks like we've all gone on another one of Binns' wild goose chases.
How can we do so much and accomplish so little?
This unassuming smudge is rumored to be the location of the very...
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Revelio.
Thomas Brown knows more about books than anyone.
It's an outrage! No one makes a fool of Ferdinand Octavius Pratt!
Revelio.
Sir, are you all right? You seem to be in some distress.
All right? Do I look all right? I've been kidnapped!
How can you be kidnapped when you're right here?
What sort of question is that? Of course I'm right here. I've more than one frame. Do you only have one home? It's my other frame. It's been stolen. And by students, no less. They paid filthy thieves to steal my other frame.
Oh dear. That sounds awful.
Well, awful is exactly what Astoria Cricket is. She's behind all of this. She and her friends were moaning about me of all the nerve. Then I heard her plot to enlist a gang of good-for-nothings to have me stolen from the Three Broomsticks. That's why my other frame hung. A hovel of a place. Though I suppose one could do worse. I once knew a portrait who ended up in the Hog's Head. No one's heard from him since.
Right. So back to your frame.
Ah, yes. There I was, powdering my wig, and the next thing I knew, I was being manhandled by rogues and carried off. As if I can afford not to be at my post. I do important work for the headmaster, and I need my other frame back at the Three Broomsticks.
I could look into the matter for you.
Oh, would you? How marvelous. Do it quickly, though, won't you? The place they took me to is quite beneath me. Off you go, then.
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade? Astoria Cricket?
That depends. Am I in trouble?
Ferdinand Pratt thinks you should be. Says you stole his frame.
I wouldn't call it stolen. Relocated's more like it. How do I put this nicely? Ferdinand Pratt is a postulant boil, and he's lucky I didn't have him sealed in a wall.
He truly is rather foul, isn't he?
All he does is spy on students in here and report back to the headmaster. Sometimes, if there's nothing to report, he'll make it up. I spent 4 hours in detention last week, all because he told Black that I was planning to drain the lake, whatever that means. It was the last straw. He and his frame had to go.
May I ask where you put him?
Well, I didn't put him anywhere. The frame is likely with the fine gents I paid to snatch it. They camp in a ruin by the coast. I just wanted it far enough away that I'd never have to think about Ferdinand Pratt ever again.
You do know he's screaming in the library as we speak.
Oh, for the love of Merlin. If you ask me, he's got nothing to scream about. I could have had him put in the Hog's Head. The pampered Pratt would have hated it. Grimy walls, smell of goats. And the patrons, they eat snooty princes like Ferdinand for dinner. But what's done is done. He isn't here anymore, and if I were you, I should enjoy it. Lovely chatting with you.
Revelio.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Oh, here's a pleasant surprise. Revelio. Merlin himself would be proud. This could prove dangerous.
If the headmaster needs Ferdinand, he's going to...
Levioso! Tiger! Reparo!
Redactor!
Bombarda! Accio! Incendio! Pulsar! Glacius! Defendo! Crucible! Descendant! Imperial!
You're the one.
Confringo! Incendio! Bombarda! Accio! Incendio!
I know a Merlin trial when I see one.
I know what you did to Iona Morgan, and I'll not forget it. You make the use
Accio!
of
Defendo! Expelliarmus!
to your knees.
Depulso!
You're the
Stupid! Confringo! Rebellion! Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
I should investigate.
Lumos.
These Merlin trials won't get the best of me.
Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio.
It's a wonder there's anything left of me.
Calm down, I'm here now.
Calm down. Those buffoons outside have been talking about burning me. Me! If they weren't all sharing half a brain, they'd realize I'm worth more to them intact and at the Three Broomsticks.
How was that?
With everything I overhear, I'm a veritable trove of information. Now, don't just stand there. I need to be back by cocktail hour. The place will be like a funeral without me.
Let's get out of here then, shall we?
Be sure to carry me carefully, won't you? My pantaloons are already creased. Where have you put me? It's pitch black in here. I shan't stand for this.
Revelio.
This looks intriguing.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
You've made a mistake. Seems like a quiet night. Perhaps I shall scout around Hellcroft for something to poach. Careful now.
Now, this has become... Is Treadwell nearby again? Couldn't have taken your life before you realise it's gone.
Accio. Incendio. Accio.
Let's see you, sir. You're the one who bring our Hippogriff. Stupid one. Come on, look what he's got done.
Descendo. Confringo.
He's the one who shot the goblin out.
Imperio.
What are you, a troll? All your heavy stamping about is going to damage my frame. I must protest! This is no place for polite company! Not with the horrors you keep... Oh, finally! Back on my wall and more angelic than ever.
There you are. Welcome back.
I'm not usually one to give thanks. There's a sort of servant ring to it. But I suppose some gratitude is in order. As a show of goodwill, I'll exclude whatever misdeeds I hear about you in my reports to the headmaster. And I do hear quite a bit. Now, be off with you. I can't be seen talking to a student. Go on then, go!
Revelio.
It's all right, everyone. I'm back.
Oh, hard work and good luck go hand in hand.
My children are behind you. An honest day's work for an honest...
It's like a place right out of a storybook.
question. A lost relic from a catacomb which requires a dark sacrifice.
I know how it sounds, but if this can help you, it's worth the risk.
Does Ominous know about this?
He helped find the scriptorium where we discovered Slytherin's spellbook.
Very well. If Ominous will be there, I'll meet you. We don't have much time. Solomon wants to leave Feldcroft.
What? Leave? Never mind. You need to stall him. Buy us time, Anne. Please.
I shall do my best. I'll be in touch.
Solomon can't take Anne from Feldcroft. Where would they go? When would I see her?
Sebastian.
I can't believe my uncle wants to leave Feldcroft. Anne's going to stall him. She must. We need time.
Time? For what?
I've learned more about the Relic. I cross-referenced Slytherin's spellbook with everything in the library on relics and dark sacrifices. That's when I realized something. I believe the Relic will only work inside the catacomb.
We just need to get Anne to the catacomb and work out how to make a dark sacrifice.
Our biggest hurdle may be convincing Ominous. Anne will only give this a chance if he's on board.
And we have to keep all of this from your uncle. If he goes to the headmaster, we could be expelled.
Let me handle Ominous this time. As for my uncle, he's not an Auror anymore. What he doesn't know, well, won't hurt us.
Good luck with Ominous. Until we meet again.
I shall let you know when the four of us should meet at the catacomb. Look for my owl. See you soon.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most
Revelio.
pleased to be included.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
My mother used to say I was lazy, wouldn't pick up my food.
There's no telling what light... I should dismount here.
You made it. At least we're out of the classroom.
I take it this means you had some luck at the library?
It took a few hours and some eye-watering maps, but I think this might be the cave Doran told us about.
Impressive. Especially with how little information he gave us.
Well, I'm still not sure this is the cave, but it did seem the most promising. I stumbled across some folklore about a cave in the area that people avoid. Seemed the perfect place to hide something of value. It's a bit of a leap, I confess, but might a mysterious item such as a special moonstone be hidden in an equally mysterious cave? I think I'm desperate for anything at this point.
Well, we're here. We might as well have a look.
Agreed. I wonder if you'd go blind from staring directly at a moonstone.
Revelio. You don't think the rumors about the cave are true, do you?
I suppose we'll find out.
Revelio. Bombarda. Revelio.
It's another aggressive one!
Bombarda.
What's going on?
Revelio. Accio. Bombarda. Revelio. Incendio. Lumos.
Lumos.
Depulso. Revelio. Bombarda. Revelio.
Voipers.
I beg your pardon?
This must be how the rumor about the cave started. The Whooper's song is said to drive anyone who hears it mad.
Accio. Depulso. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Accio.
If the moonstone is here and so are Whoopers, I wonder if it's being protected.
Revelio. Accio. Accio. Revelio.
Why am I not surprised? First the Fupas and now
Lumos.
this.
Revelio.
We need to find moths for those spinners.
Reparo. Incendio. Accio.
Perhaps the runes on the walls have something to do with finding the moths.
Accio. Accio. Lumos.
Lumos! If we pull the rings and match the runes, I suspect we'll find the moths.
Revelio. Levioso. Compulso. Accio. Revelio. Depulso.
If we pull the rings and match the runes, I suspect we'll find the moths. Another obstacle.
Revelio.
No matter. I'm sure we can work out a way across.
Depulso. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Lumos.
Lumos!
Compulso.
Merlin, it's beautiful.
Revelio. Lumos. Lumos. Lumos.
You did it!
Levioso.
I was hoping
Bombarda.
you would do this.
Accio. Incendio. Bombarda. Imperio. Descendo. Crucio. Descendo. Confringo. Crucio.
Expelliarmus.
Imperio. Descendo. Confringo. Confringo. Crucio. Levioso. Depulso. Defender. Revelio. Depulso. Revelio.
Look, where the water's bubbling. How odd.
Shall we take a closer look?
You read my mind. Merlin.
Revelio.
It's even more beautiful close up. It's got to be here. I just know it. Given what we've been able to do, I never thought I'd be so happy to see this many.
Revelio. I don't know. I've been listening to them for a while now, and I'm starting to lose my mind.
Very funny. I was just thinking how
Incendio.
it's proof the poachers haven't been here.
Revelio.
Assuming this is where the Moonstone is. Which means we're one step ahead of them. We found it! It's like staring directly at the moon. Well, we found what we came for. Now we just need to bring it to the henge.
Well done, Poppy. This did end up being the right cave after all.
A good thing, too. We need every advantage over the poachers if we're to get to the Snidgets first. We should do as Doran suggested and bring the Moonstone to the henge.
Shall we?
We shall. If we leave now, we should make it there by nightfall. That's the henge, precisely where Doran said it would be. But now that we're here, I'm not entirely sure how to feel. We knew we were at the cave for the Moonstone, but Doran didn't tell us what to expect when we placed the stone in the henge.
I don't think Doran would knowingly send us into danger.
You're right. I suppose I'm worrying over nothing. Let's make our way down. We're nearly at the end of this. I think
Revelio.
that's it over there.
How's your gran doing, by the way?
Nothing keeps Gran down. She set up a caterwauling charm and threatened to make a coat out of the next poacher that set foot on her doorstep. I still feel terrible that I'm the reason we went there.
Surely she'll be pleased you've gone after the Snidgets.
I hope so. Gran understands how important it is to protect those who need it. I think we can safely say we know where the Moonstone goes.
Whoa!
Oh. That was a mooncalf dance. Do you know how rare it is to see even one? They only ever happen under a full moon. Though I suppose the Moonstone allowed it to happen now.
Is the pattern they left behind on the ground normal?
All part of the dance. No one pattern is ever the same, though. We'll need to draw this one to get a better sense of it. Can't wait to tell Gran that I've managed to see not one, but 2 mooncalf dances. She'll be jealous.
You've seen this before?
It was pure luck the first time. I was on Highwing, or I'd never have spotted it. It was the night the night I met Highwing, actually,
I'd love to hear about how you and Highwing met.
I'd actually like you to know. About 5 years ago, Highwing had been captured by poachers. At first, they planned to sell her, but soon decided they wanted to kill her instead. More money, I suppose. I'd finally had enough. I freed Highwing and we ran. We'd flown for ages when I spotted mooncalves dancing below and we landed to watch them. It felt like an omen. A good one. A sign that the worst was over.
What do you mean you'd had enough and the worst was over?
You see, the night I freed Highwing was also the night I ran away from home. A poacher camp. I come from a family of poachers.
Merlin? I don't know what to say, Poppy. I can't imagine what that must have been like for you.
I never fitted in, but the older I got, the more apparent it became. Gran tried for years to convince my parents to let me live with her. Suffice it to say, when I left with Highwing, I flew straight for her house.
How brave. I'm glad you escaped.
So am I. There were so many creatures I was unable to help when I was younger. Now that's all I want to do.
From everything I've seen, you're doing precisely that.
I've had a bit of help. I've never told anyone any of this, but I'm glad that you know. It's nice to have someone to talk about it with.
I'm glad you told me.
We should get back to Doran. He'll need to see the symbol, and we've got poachers to beat. If you collect the Moonstone, I can make a quick drawing of the symbol for Doran.
Revelio.
Are you finished with the drawing?
Just barely. I think the pattern's a bird. At least that's what it looks like.
Didn't the journal say the key to finding the Snidget lies in the moonlight?
Of course. That's it. We need to show this to Doran. Not that I'd know where to find him at this hour. Perhaps we should head back to the castle and we can track him down after a good night's sleep.
Agreed. I'm ready to leave if you are.
Revelio.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Some days are more difficult than others.
Natty, is everything all right?
There are times when my father's absence drifts to the back of my mind, and I feel peace for a day or two. But this is not one of those times. I miss him. I miss running with him. I miss Matibeleland. He should still be here. And it's my fault that he isn't.
I'm sorry, Natty. I wish there was something I could do to help.
You have done plenty. In fact, many of my good days are good because of you. The bad days, however, I believe I would feel less helpless if I could truly put an end to Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's miserable lot. Each day they remain free, they do more damage, leaving people like Archie Pickle to suffer the consequences.
I agree, Natty. We'll get them. I've never seen someone so committed to a cause.
Thank you. I believe we will get them, beginning with Harlow. Thank you for speaking with me. It was very helpful.
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
Seems a pleasant enough little place. Pardon? Were you calling to me?
I was. I'm Marianne Moffat. Pleasure. At the moment, I'm having a great deal of trouble trying to find a particular dirical.
Ah, yes, the magical bird. Can disappear when it senses danger.
Peculiar things, aren't they? Did you know that muggles call them dodos? Such a funny name. I'm worried about a large albino dirical known as Gwynaira. She's a local legend, so of course poachers are after her. If I had her, I'd treat her like a queen, and I could use her molted feathers as fashion accessories.
Seems you're more concerned with the feathers than the bird. But she'd be safer with you than with poachers.
Indeed. They'd pluck her feathers and likely kill her when they were through. I can't seem to rescue her, and I'm worried the Diricles don't trust me since I've been hanging about their den.
I'll keep an eye out for a large white diricle.
Oh, thank you. Those gorgeous feathers. And she'd be safe. One last thing. She seems to spend her days in hiding. I've only ever seen her at night. I do hope you're able to save her. Be prepared to chase her. I sometimes wonder if she actually enjoys the pursuit.
I suppose I should watch for Gwynaira. At night, apparently. This is the diricle, then. But Miss Moffat said Gwynaira only appears at night. This must be the diricle den that Miss Moffat told me about. Now, where is Gwynaira?
Levioso!
There. I'm not going to hurt you.
Revelio! Levioso!
Now, I'm only trying to help. I'll look after you.
Revelio! Levioso!
Got her. Now I need to let Miss Moffat know.
Revelio!
handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this.
Oh, hello. Any luck finding Gwynaira?
Miss Moffat, I caught Gwynaira.
That's incredible. Was it terribly difficult?
Not too bad, if you know what you're doing.
Don't be so humble about it. Well, may I have her now?
Of course.
Oh, you're too kind. She has such exquisite plumage. Oh, I shall make the finest attire from her feathers. And she'll have a good life too, of course. Ah. Thank you so much for bringing me Gwynaira. I shall keep her safe and only use her feathers sparingly.
Revelio.
Any who oppose Relic.
Straight to fight! I don't think you know who you're dealing with.
Accio.
Stop it! I won't rest.
Accio. Incendio. Bombarda.
You only have Ranrock to blame.
Accio. Protego. Accio. Incendio.
Deadly mistake.
Pity. Leviosa.
Oh, that was meant for me.
Accio. Incendio. Compulso. Protego. Stupefy. Expelliarmus. Stupefy. Crucial. Imperial.
There you are.
Descendo. Crucial. Confringo.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Descendo. Confringo. Revelio. Descendo. Confringo. 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 Crucial. Potato. Stupefy. Defender. Expelliarmus. Bombarda. Revelio.
This place stinks of Ranrock and his cronies. No sign of Lodgok out here. He must be inside already. Revelio. Look at the size of this mine.
Something seems wrong.
This place is teeming with
Bombarda.
I won't rest.
Levio.
You're dead.
Accio. Centaur.
Revelio. This cart ought to get me deeper into the mine. Just like Gringotts, but I'm in the driver's seat this time.
Something seems wrong.
How deep will this take me?
Ranrock's gonna be pleased with our progress.
Who was on that car? Enjoy yourself.
Let me out with his pa, will ya?
That has to be the end up ahead. Revelio.
Incendio.
I wonder where these pipes go.
Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Incendio.
Not quite.
Accio. Protego.
A miss! No!
Bombarda. Descendo. Crucio. Imperio.
It didn't take long.
Confringo. Descendo. Bombarda. Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Accio. Bombarda. Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. 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 Levioso. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa. Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio. Bombarda! Revelio.
What's keeping us from fighting?
I only hope Lodgok doesn't cross paths again.
You won't stop me.
Just you wait! No! One less. Rather unwise.
This will not be another setback like Feldcroft. Oh,
It's the beaten path, I suspect.
That's the
Confringo. Let's get it.
Potato. Confringo. Defender. Glacier. Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Revelio.
Incendio should be enough to light these flames.
Incendio. Revelio.
I hope I can get to Ranrock before Lodgok does.
Revelio.
Another drill is complete. The wizarding world will crumble.
I can end this right now. I have to destroy the drill and stop Ranrock's loyalists.
Accio. Incendio.
I won't rest until dead.
Imperial. Potato. Stupefy. Descender. Crucial. Confringo.
You explain the thing.
This out my way. Expelliarmus! Glacier! Potato! Bombarda! Incendio! Accio! Incendio! Bombarda! Imperial! Crucio! Confringo! Descendo! Leviosa! Incendio! Defendo! Expelliarmus! Convulso! Defendo! Expelliarmus!
One less foul-hulking brute.
Revelio!
I have to find a way to stop that drill.
Revelio. Defender. Bombarda. Revelio. Bombarda.
That is unfortunate. No matter, we will build another.
I found this one lurking outside.
Lodgok, come to make amends, little brother.
I came to stop this.
What is this you've brought me? It cannot be. All this time, you knew. You knew where it was.
You're right.
I'll never understand you, Lodgok. So gullible. That witch did not consider you an equal. She, like all wizard kind, sought only to use you.
You're wrong, Ranrock.
The young ones are especially deceitful. They are taught to hide their disgust for us, as they exploit us.
Astonishing that our ancestors ever trusted each other.
All this time, looking everywhere for the final repository, searching in vain for Bragbor's last journal. Wasted my time, chasing a child. And my little brother knew where it was all along. But now, I don't need you. I don't need any of you.
I was bringing it to you.
You are a traitor to our kind!
No! Abracadabra!
Poor Lodgok. Dead by his brother's hand. No wonder he tried so hard to reason with him. how to get out of this blasted place. I'll send word to Fig to meet me in the map chamber. He and the Keepers need to know Ranrock has that journal and knows where the final repository is.
How nice of you.
Ha! Another pitiful beast caught in my trap.
Accio! Incendio! Bombarda! Accio! Incendio! Levioso! Bombarda! Protego!
Trouble's brewing and I'm without my friends.
Except this time it's not just fun, is it? It's the old lava.
Glad I was never locked up here.
Oh, so did you? I know I'm not.
Accio! Incendio! Bombarda!
No more happy days for you.
Incendio! Accio! Levioso! Incendio! Defendo! Depulso!
Made a grade. I know you're the one who stole our goblin helm.
Depulso! Glacius! Defender! Expelliarmus! Depulso! Bombarda!
Knew I'd find you.
Incendio! Accio! Bombarda! Defender! Hold still! Accio! Incendio! Think yourself clever, don't you? Accio!
You having the natural?
You think... Accio! Stoop time! Bombarda! Revelio!
I reckon I can see myself getting away.
Accio! Incendio!
Expulsor! Stand still. Takes gumption to steal a
Incendio!
Hippogriff. Quite.
Imperio!
Well,
Stupefy!
Expulsor!
Crucio!
Crucio!
Descends!
Expulsor!
Sacrificus totalis!
Confringo!
Expulsor!
Had enough?
What are you?
You shouldn't go up.
Someone's taking around the site! Expulsor!
Imperio!
Sacrificus totalis!
Descendo! Expulso!
Expulsor!
Sacrificus totalis!
Confringo!
Think you're clever, don't you?
What a lookout! Imperial!
Time to eat
Die for that. Expulsor!
Glacier!
Stand from above!
Depulso! Defender! Expelliarmus! Revelio. Confringo. Bombarda!
Confringo! Revelio! Confringo! Revelio. Confringo. Glacius. Confringo! Glacius! Revelio! Glacius! Perfect. Let's see what we've got. This must be what all the fuss was about. Revelio! Looks rather dark in there. Never stopped me before.
Sebastian has gone too far. You saw what lies in the catacomb. I cannot stay here.
Wait, Anne, please.
Revelio.
He was willing to put the whole hamlet and himself in danger on the chance that some old relic could help to heal me. I'm sorry, Ominous. Make sure he's all right, will you?
I'm glad you're here.
I received your owl. Where's Sebastian?
Inside the catacomb. Frankly, I was surprised you weren't with him.
Ominous,
Stop. You swore you wouldn't let Sebastian take this one step further. Yet here we are.
It's my fault. I was wrong. I thought he'd stop.
I should have stopped him before. Sebastian's in real trouble now. I'm going back into the catacomb to find him. Anne's right. He and the entire hamlet are in danger. The place is crawling with Inferi.
Inferi? What are you talking about?
You'll see. We need to hurry. Sebastian must not be in his right mind.
Last time we were here, this place was crawling with spiders.
We're about to face worse. Let's find Sebastian quickly.
Accio! Revelio! Where was Sebastian when you and Anne found him?
Just ahead, in the Great Room.
Incendio! Potato! Stupefy! Incendio! Bombarda!
Leviosa!
Accio! Incendio! Defendo! Revelio!
There weren't this many Inferi before.
And there's no sign of Sebastian. Expelliarmus! Protego! Stupefy! Incendio! Accio! Bombarda! Incendio! Incendio! Hey! Bombarda! Incendio! Accio! Incendio! Bombarda! Defendo! Expelliarmus! Crucio! Imperial! Incendio! Bombarda! Accio! Leviosa! Incendio! Accio! Bombarda! Incendio! Stupefy! Accio! Ringo! Incendio! Bombarda! Levioso! Incendio!
I was so worried about Sebastian I didn't even realize. Anne's gone to get Solomon. When she first saw the Inferi, she thought Sebastian was being attacked. But then he showed her the relic and said he'd learned how to use it.
The carvings on the relic were Inferi, and Sebastian somehow created them.
Not exactly. He's controlling them. This is powerful dark magic. Creating Inferi is incredibly difficult, but controlling them... As Anne and I frantically barricaded the Inferi to keep them from escaping, Sebastian kept mumbling about healing Anne. When Anne said she couldn't stay here, I didn't realize what she meant.
Solomon threatened to go to the headmaster if he heard of Sebastian dealing with dark magic.
I need to get to Hogwarts. I must get to Professor Black first. Twist the story a bit, make him think it's a family fight. I'll be back as soon as I can. See if you can talk some sense into Sebastian. Be careful.
Revelio. How many Inferi are there? Bombarda! Accio! Levioso! Glacius! Defendo! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Bombarda! Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Accio. I need to find a way up that ledge. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. There's Sebastian.
Isn't this incredible?
Sebastian.
I told you, the relic is the answer. I've been trying to reverse the dark magic that injured Anne, but this will allow me to control it. Just as I can control the Inferi.
Control? I had to fight the Inferi all the way.
What have the two of you done? Accio Relic!
Solomon, don't! The relic! You'll pay for this!
Potato! Leviosa!
I'm ending this now!
That's Relic! Bombarda! Save Anne!
Leviosa! Incendio! Potato!
Incendio!
Incendio!
Accio!
I am protecting you!
Incendio!
Incendio! Leviosa!
Accio!
Potato!
Incendio! Bombarda!
Now you've gone too
Stupefy! Incendio! Defendo! Expelliarmus! Glacius! Depulso!
Leviosa! Incendio! Contingo!
Expelliarmus! Depulso! Potato! Expelliarmus! Glacius!
Glacius!
Incendio!
Glacius!
Benito!
Confringo!
Incendio! Bombarda!
Leviosa!
Potato! Stupefy! Levioso!
Now you've gone too far.
Accio! Incendio! Bombarda! Imperio! Crucio! Descendo! Defendo!
Glacius!
Glacius!
Sorry, it had to be done.
Expelliarmus! Defendo! Mr. Talon!
Stop!
Defendo!
You're no friend to mine.
Incendio! Accio! Leviosa! Bombarda!
you've gone too far.
Defender! Crucial. Imperial!
Sorry, it had to be done. Heavy assault!
Potato! Stupefy!
Confringo!
Confringo! Defender! Glacius! Expelliarmus! Repulsor! Bombarder! Incendio! Accio! Leviosa!
Incendio!
Incendio! Accio! Incendio! Defender! Expelliarmus! Glacius!
She cannot be healed, Sebastian. You must stop.
I won't let her suffer. Avada Kedavra!
You've made your choice.
Oh, Anne. What have you done? I must get out of here.
I can't let him leave. Revelio! Sebastian, wait! Stop, Sebastian. Hold on.
What is it?
Why wouldn't you stop? I was calling after you.
Anne won't survive this. She's withering away, inside and out. Solomon's never been there for us, not really. He gave up on Anne. I'll never give up on her. You saw him, didn't you? He was going to ruin her life. He attacked us. I had to use the killing curse. You know I did. If I hadn't known how to cast it...
He did attack us. You had no choice. It was brave, Sebastian. You clearly care more about Anne than your uncle ever did.
I knew you'd understand. I did do the right thing.
You did. I would have done the same, if I knew how.
I could teach you.
No time like the present.
The killing curse won't be easy to master. As with all unforgivables, you have to mean it. Hold your wand steady. Focus. The incantation is Avada Kedavra. Your intention must be clear. I can't stay here. I need to find Ominous.
Sebastian.
Please, I'm not myself right now. Let's meet later at the Undercroft, all right?